Orioles hit it there in deep left field. Hayes going back. The wall. It's good. It's a good. It's Cooper breaks it open for the Rangers with 9 over the first 3 innings. Well, unfortunately, the fan got the other goal. It was a 3-1 pitch with the bases loaded and not much room, obviously, to yes. On with the 1-2. Fastball is lifted to left center field. Hayes is sprinting back into the gap, but that makes it forwards, but he can't get it. Wilson to score. You're trying to score from first. It's not time. And the miss by the order. The audience of Ferris has tied this game with a 2-run double. Is 1-1. Is forward in the center field. Seager makes the turn, comes in to score. Fourth spot for Texas. Fastball sorts of the left side base hit. 5 runs for the Rangers in the second, and they lead it 5-2.
Right there, you heard the highlights from another crushing defeat for the Baltimore Orioles. They fall to the Texas Rangers 11-8. Fall down in the best-of-5 series, 0-2. It's the Flex Zone Podcast, official Baltimore Orioles postgame show, only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. We're here to talk about it. The highlights and the lowlights, only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. It's the Flex Zone. The Baltimore Orioles are down 0-2 in the best-of-5 series against the Texas Rangers, who are undefeated so far this postseason. 2-game sweep in the wild card round against the Rays, where they pretty much shut them down. And 2 games so far against the Orioles, while they haven't, I would say, dominated it, because yesterday's game was 1 run. And today, although it started out very brutal, like a house on fire, it ended up being only a 3-run margin. So in 2 games lost, the Orioles have only lost by 4 runs. If I can pull some type of positivity or some type of bright spot out of this sad day in Baltimore sports, if you were with us earlier, you know what happened with the Ravens and the Steelers yesterday with game 1 with the Orioles and the Rangers, Maryland football, and the Ohio State. So not a good weekend for Baltimore and Maryland sports in the surrounding area. Mitch Garver's 3rd inning grand slam pretty much broke the game open for the Rangers. As I mentioned, they won their 4th consecutive game and pretty much put the Orioles on the brink of elimination on Sunday's ALDS Game 2. And it's crazy because the Orioles haven't been swept all season. And what a deflating way it would be to go out if they do get swept, because they haven't been swept in such a long time. And to do it in such a playoff atmosphere and a playoff series would definitely be crazy. But if you're all watching this, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell. Sign off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. As always, and make sure you follow us at the Flex Zone 1. We're live each and every day with new content. A lot of content this past weekend. And we're here for you with the Orioles, whether they win or lose. Good news, bad news. In this game, as I mentioned, Mitch Garver's grand slam off Grayson Rodriguez kind of put the nail in the coffin early. And when you think about the Rangers so far, they've outscored the Orioles and Tampa Bay Rays, the top 2 teams in the American League, by 25-11. Bruce Bochy What more can you say about this guy? What he did with the Giants, winning 3 World Series titles. He would be in his first AL championship as a manager if he does win one of the next games. He reached that round 4 times in the National League. As I mentioned, he won 3 World Series with the San Francisco Giants. Now, there were some bright spots for the Warriors. I'm not going to be a Debbie Downer. Gunnar Henderson, Aaron Hicks, they both had home runs today. I believe, Aaron Hicks drove in 5 runs today. Aaron Hicks went 2 for 5, had a 3-run home run, and drove in 5 with 5 RBIs. Aaron Hicks was just fantastic. I mean, he did drive in the 2 runs early on to give the Orioles the lead, and you see his value. I mean, he's got the most postseason experience on the roster. He's been a godsend since they signed him from the New York Yankees when he was waived. He has been good on defense. He's been good in the locker room. He's been good defensively. And today, with his timely hitting as well, he's been what the doctor has ordered for the Orioles. Gunnar Henderson, he's starting to figure things out against lefties. Jordan Montgomery was the starter today. He went 2 for 4, had a home run, a walk, and 3 runs. And when you saw as this game progressed, honestly, the Texas bullpen is a little bit of a concern if you're a Rangers fan. And maybe not even a little bit of a concern, maybe a major concern, because they got exposed today, in my opinion. And I thought that was one of the keys to the series. If the Orioles could sustain Montgomery and Evaldi, they had a chance to really take advantage of what was a shaky bullpen. I know they got Chapman, but really outside of that, their bullpen is shaky. And I think their bullpen is able to be taken advantage of. But the player of the game offensively was Jorge Mateo. I figured he would be in the lineup today. He was in the lineup today. He was a godsend. He played well today. He was 4 for 4, 2 doubles, almost had a home run, had a run batted in, and scored on a run. And Mateo has really had a slump since April. He's really not done much. But he showed up today, and I can't be mad at what he brings to this team with his ability to get on base, steal bases, have that speed that you need, and defensively. He's one of the best defenders on the team as well. Can play short, can play third if need be, can play even second. They put him in the outfield. That wasn't good, but we know what they can do. But I got to talk about these. Let's go to history, because I did hear this before I came on live, and I wanted to mention this. 3 teams since 2012 have come back from an 0-2 deficit. And it's crazy because Texas was one of those teams who allowed a team to come back from an 0-2 deficit in 2015. 3 teams in 2012 have come back from 0-2. The Orioles will look to become the 4th team to do that. Crazy enough, the Orioles play better on the road than at home. They hit better on the road than at home. A sense of comfort, a sense of camaraderie, a sense of us against the world mentality when the Orioles are on the road, and they have shown that this season, and hopefully they can show that as Game 3 will be on Tuesday. Brandon Hyde has not announced who will start Game 3. He will announce it on Monday. Who do you go with? Do you go with the veteran Kyle Gibson, who won 15 games? Do you go with John Means, who is a lefty and could present a matchup situation against the Texas Rangers, who have some right-handed hitters in their lineup? Do you go with Dean Kramer? I don't think it'll be Kramer. I think it's going to be either Gibson or Means. Who would I go with? This is pretty much your last chance to salvage this series. I'm going to go with a guy who has been here. I'm going to go with a guy who has been through the downs, who has been through and part of the ups. Yes, he's coming back from injury, but he's a former All-Star. He's thrown a no-hitter on the road. He has pitched very well in Cleveland when they needed him to a few weeks back. He's starting to get better each start. He's starting to regain his strength. He's starting to regain his poise. He's starting to regain his stuff on the mound. I'm going to go with John Means because you want to switch it up. You had 2 righties start. Go with the lefty. But you got to have a quick hook like you did today with Grayson. If Means can give you 5 innings, you take it because you got a day off tomorrow. You can use some more guys in the bullpen. Maybe the Orioles can become that fourth team to come back from 0-2 deficit, but they can't think about that too much. They have to go for game one and win that. You have to win one game at a time. It's first team to 3. They're down 0-2. They can't lose anymore. They haven't been swept. That means they have to beat the Rangers not once, not twice, but 3 times. But you can't win 3 if you don't win 1. You can't win 2 if you don't win 1. You can't win 3 if you can't win 2. So this team is going to have to really take it one at bat, one pitch, one inning at a time, and really, really, really give everything they got on Tuesday night, which I think they will. I do think they will. They won't quit. I think they'll play hard. I think they will obviously give their best shot to the Rangers. I mean, at this point, the Rangers have the pressure, right? They're at home, up 2-0. The crowd is going to be raucous. Their first playoff series since 2016 at home. They're going to think they got it all wrapped up in the bag. Hey, once you get one, that momentum can shift quickly. The Orioles scored 2 in the first, but then Texas with that 5-run second and then a 4-run third. The Orioles were down 9-2 after 3. They did score 2 in the bottom of the fourth, so we were at 9-4. Then both teams scored in the fifth. But if you look at it, the Orioles outscored them from the fifth on, 4-2. They outhit them 14-11. The Texas Rangers had an error. They don't give up this grand slam. They literally will win this game. That is the irony of this. They win this game 8-7 if they don't give up a grand slam. I said they needed to score at least 5 runs. They did. I didn't expect Grayson Rodriguez and his pitching staff to give up 11, but it's a double-edged sword. But there are some slumping O's that I have to talk about because they need to pack their bats with them and pack their offense. Ryan O'Hearn, 0 for 24 in his last 24. Cedric Mullins, 2 for his last 36. Austin Hayes, 3 for his last 29. Aaron Hicks was 1 for his last 17. And Adam Frazier was 3 for his last 29. So a lot of guys who have done great things this season for the Orioles really slumping right now. And it's sad because this is the most inopportune time you want to have a slump like this. This is the most inopportune. You don't want to have the ability to have timely hitting, hit with runners in scoring position, really be able to put the pressure on Texas because Texas is saying, well, we're going to outscore you right now. That's basically what they're doing, at least in this game. Yesterday, they had a couple good plays, but Texas's pitching has not been – tonight was not anything to write home about. The Orioles actually took the lead, and it was the first time Texas was trailing when they went up 2-0. But it's crazy because Garver's a backup. He hadn't played in the playoffs yet, and he comes up. And that's what baseball is all about. You've seen guys in the past win MVPs in the playoffs, win most outstanding players, have historic moments, and guys will be bench players or guys will be utility guys. Guys will be fourth outfielders, 6 pitchers in a rotation, guys coming out the bullpen. And this guy's a backup and hits a grand slam. Who could have thought that? Nobody thought that coming into this game. Bochy pressed the right button. Bochy made the right call yet again, and it paid off for him as well. Corey Seager had 5 walks today. First time that a player walked 5 times in a postseason. He scored twice, and 11 walks for the Orioles. Way too many walks. Way too many walks. Most in the game since 2019. And 6 of those 11 who were walked did score. Texas became the first team in postseason history. As we said, they are a streaky team, everybody. With 7 hits, 7 walks through 3 innings. They finished the game with 11 of each to go with their 11 runs. That's crazy. 11 hits, 11 walks, and 11 runs. 11, 11, 11. Talk about numerology. It's crazy. It's just really crazy. And, I mean, the lineup of Texas did what they do. We know they can mash. We know they can hit with the best of them. They're the best hitting team in the American League. But the Orioles bullpen, Brian Baker, walked the bases loaded. Jacob Webb gave up the grand slam. But Cody Bradford got the win for Texas as Jordan Montgomery only went 3 2/3 innings, but he was scoreless in those 3 2/3. Rodriguez, who's one of the best pitching prospects in all of baseball, took the loss. He had a 2.58 ERA after the All-Star break, but he allowed 5 runs, 6 hits, and 4 walks today. It's crazy because now the Orioles have lost 7 straight postseason games. This dates all the way back to 2014. They were swept by Kansas City, and they dropped the winner-take-all that game in Toronto in 2016. It's crazy because actually another thing to keep an eye on is the timing of these games in the postseason, as there's no ghost runner on extra innings. This game was 3 hours and 45 minutes, so nearly 4 hours. Looks like Texas is going to throw out Nathan Eovaldi, All-Star, for Game 3, looking to shut the door on the series, go for the sweep. As we mentioned, Brandon Hyde will announce his starter on Monday. It'll be the first game on Tuesday for the Rangers since September 24th and their first playoff game at Globe Life Field. Remember, that ballpark did not host much of the 2020 postseason because it was used for the pandemic during 2020, that shortened season. So the crowd is going to be raucous, much like it was here in Baltimore. The crowd is going to be lively, and they know they only need one win to get it done. The next 2 Monday, and if it goes to a game 4 Tuesday and Wednesday would be in Texas. It's tough. Coming on here, I didn't really know what to say. I didn't know what my vibe was going to be. I mean, I was a little pissed off because I was doing the post-game show. I was doing the Ravens post-game show after they had a tough loss against the Steelers, a game they should have won. And looking back at it, this is a game the Orioles possibly could have won. The Orioles really have to get back to that pitching. Pitching is going to be the key if they want to somehow, not even win the series. I'm not even going to go that far. Win a game in the series. And make sure you guys vote on a poll. Giving up 11 runs, giving up 9 runs after 3 innings. The likelihood of you winning games is very, very slim. I don't care who's in your offense, because that means you got to score 12 runs to win. Last time the Orioles were in Texas in the postseason, they did win that 2012 season. So maybe it could be a little bit of deja vu. But we'll see. I really don't know what's going to happen in Game 3 because I don't even know who's pitching. Like I said, I'm probably going John Means. And maybe if Means can give you 5, maybe I go to possibly a Dean Kramer. And if you live to fight another day, maybe you go back to Kyle Gibson in Game 4. Possibly, maybe that's what I would do if I'm Brandon Hyde. Means Kramer combination, maybe they can get you through and use whoever you got in the bullpen. Maybe Cano. Maybe those 3 guys can get it done for you on Tuesday. And then maybe if you live to fight another day on Wednesday, you can go to Kyle Gibson. It's going to be interesting to see who Brandon Hyde announces as his starting pitcher on tomorrow afternoon when he meets with the media. But these slumping Orioles, somebody's got to step up. We saw Hicks today. We saw Gunnar today. We saw Mateo. Mateo probably won't be in the lineup because Eovaldi is a right-hander. Could we see O'Hearn in the lineup? Could we see Mullins or Hayes pick it up? Could we see Adam Frazier pick it up? Somebody's going to have to pick it up. Mountcastle. Somebody's going to have to try to possibly put this team on their back, at least for one game, to help spark an offensive rejuvenation. Because as I mentioned, over the last 2 weeks, they've only been scoring a little less than 3 runs. This team has to figure out how to take Game 3. Am I the most optimistic guy right now, seeing how the first 2 series have gone? No, because of pitching. But I think when you need to think about who's going to pitch Game 3, you need a stopper. You need a guy who has experience. You need a guy who's calm under pressure. It would help to throw in a left-hander to switch things up a little bit for them. And I think John Means is your guy. If John Means can give you 5, maybe 6, then maybe go to a Dean Kramer or a Yanier Cano to possibly close it out. That would be fantastic. But we'll see what Brandon Hyde announces on Monday. We'll talk about it on the Flex Zone tomorrow. We'll be live at 10 p.m. recapping Week 5 of the NFL, Ravens, Commanders, talking about the Monday Night Football games, our game ball standouts, and not so game ball duds of the week, and of course recapping the Major League Baseball playoffs so far. And it's crazy because I saw all three teams: the Orioles, second best record in baseball; the Braves, best record in baseball; and the Dodgers, third best record in baseball. All winners of over 100 games. Only three teams won over 100 games this season. All lost their first game. Then the Orioles lost today. Braves were shut out. Dodgers were pretty much blown out of their own stadium. Kershaw didn't bring his pitch hand. And then the Orioles lose a tight one yesterday, and a little too late. But big shout out to the fans, big shout out to the crowd who was down there the last 2 days, packing that place out, packing the area out, supporting the Orioles, showing that Oriole magic, that Oriole pride. It was great to see. And they didn't give up. Fans stayed. Fans were still on their feet. Fans were still chanting. Fans were still trying to really will this team to a comeback. They're the comeback kids. They're the best comeback team in baseball. And they almost did it today. I honestly did not know they were going to make it as tight as they did because I did change the channel for a little bit and changed to a couple NFL games that were a little more entertaining in the 4 o'clock window. And I do think that I just don't think the Orioles season is going to end on Tuesday. It can't, right? After all they've been through the season, the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, the comebacks, the wild finishes, the magical moments, the Orioles magic, the milestones, the wonderful plays. It's really, 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 really something that I hope doesn't end on Tuesday. And maybe I'm wrong because I'm wrong a lot, and I'm the first to tell you. I think the Orioles are going to win on Tuesday. I don't know how much longer this series can go, but I can see the Orioles at least win one game. Big shout out to Patrick Gainey, a new subscriber here on the channel on the Flex Zone. Patrick, I want to give it up for you, my brother, because you are now part of the Flex Zone family. And I appreciate you finding us, my brother. Make sure you tap in with us. We got all your Orioles coverage, Ravens coverage, all your sports coverage as well. But big shout out, big love, big respect to you, my brother, in Dallas. You aren't too far from the Arlington area. You're going to by chance be going to Game 3 down there in Arlington on Tuesday night for the Orioles to try to support them. And Patrick, I'm glad you found us too, man. YouTube has not been kind to our channel, so we're still plugging away. We're still pushing. We are still grinding each and every day. We got content for everybody. Like I said, when you subscribe to this channel, when you become part of this channel, when you chime in, give your thoughts, you become part of the Flex Zone family, and we treat you like family, man. You can come in here with us, share your opinion in a safe space. Whether we agree, disagree, it's all love, it's all support, and that's what we do here, man. I love my O's. Seems like you do too, Patrick. So shout out to you, man. I hope all is well. Okay, you're in Austin about 3 hours out. Gotcha, brother. Gotcha. Yeah, man. But big shout out to you, Patrick, out there in Austin, man. I heard that Austin is a beautiful place. And Texas is a beautiful place as well. So big shout out to you. Much love to you and everybody out there in the Austin area, man. And let's hope that our O's can pull it together, man. I really don't have too much analysis left. It is what it is at this point. Texas has been really the hotter team coming into this series. They pretty much manhandled Tampa. They beat us by 1 yesterday. Some things went their way. They do it again tonight with an early onslaught. Sustain the Orioles come from behind efforts. And that's pretty much what it is. I mean, it's really not much else we really can say about it. But shout out to Hicks, Gunner, and Mateo today, who pretty much provided something offensively for the Orioles. I love this team. I love what they've done this season, and I don't want it to end. They haven't been swept in over a year. I don't think it's time for it to end yet. Let's go O's. Let's see what they do on Tuesday. Like I mentioned, I'm starting John Means, probably having him, if I can, get him 5 innings, maybe 6 innings. And I'm maybe possibly going to Dean Kramer. Pull him out the plastic. And then maybe Cano to close it out. Then you go Wednesday, maybe go Kyle Gibson. Then maybe some of the guys in the bullpen could be a little more rested. And then you maybe could go Kyle Gibson. Maybe he can give you 5 or 6. If the Orioles can get back to pitching, if they can get back to that game 1 pitching where they were only giving up 3 runs, like I said, 3 is the magic number. If they can keep Texas to 3 or fewer runs, the Orioles are going to make the Texas Rangers sweat, in my opinion. Unfortunately, they did it in game 1. They sweated at the end, but the Texas Rangers held on. We know the whole Gunner being thrown out. It looks like Hicks missed the sign. That was the miscommunication or part of it. The Orioles had a chance to win that game. Today, giving up 9 runs in the first 3 innings, you're not going to win many games when you do that. So hopefully it's a learning experience for Grayson Rodriguez. Let's support him. Let's love on him. Let's just say he can't get worse. It's only up from here. I think if possible, who knows? Maybe if it gets to game 4, we may go back to Kyle Bradish. If need be. Maybe he pitches on 3 days rest. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Your season's on the line. You got to pull out all the stops. Maybe you go Kyle Bradish and maybe you bring in the Kyle Gibson. Who knows? And maybe you allow Grayson or Kramer to go game 5 if you go to Bradish in game 4. There's a lot of ways it could go. It's not over yet, guys. I know it's tough. I know we're down on it. But the Orioles have done their best work on the road offensively, made some spectacular defensive plays, and some memorable come from behind victories. And remember, the first 2 games against Tampa, they lost. Came back, won 2 in a row. First 2 games against Cleveland, came back, won 2 in a row on the road. Those were playoff atmosphere, playoff implications were in those games. So I'm intrigued to see how the Orioles come out. I think they're going to come out fighting. I think Brandon Hyde's going to pull all the buttons he can. He's going to empty out his bench if he has to. He's going to empty out his bullpen with a day off. Tomorrow will be a travel day. So let's see what the Orioles do. I'm not giving up faith yet. I think the Orioles can at least win game 3. Like I said, the magic number, keep Texas to 3 runs or fewer. And let's get a quality start. Hey, we had a bad start today. I think Means can bring that quality start. I'm going Means in game 3. Maybe Means and Kramer and Cano. If you can get that 3-headed monster going to get it done for you. And then maybe game 4, you go to Bradish again. And maybe you go to Bradish and you work through him and see how far he can get you until you maybe have to go to the bullpen in game 5. If you get to that, all bets are off. But we'll take it one game at a time here on the Flex Zone podcast. We'll break it down for you as only we can. Post-game shows, as I mentioned, as long as this Orioles season goes on, we will continue to bring you Orioles coverage as only we can. The only place giving you sports how you want it, when you need it. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, watching. Thank you for the love and support. Thank you for being here all weekend. We've got a ton of content we did on the channel this weekend. Orioles post-game game 1. Ravens preview of the Steelers. Ravens post-game show that we did earlier. Yesterday, we were live for WWE Fastlane AEW Collision. We'll be live this week for Title Tuesday on AEW and WWE NXT. And we'll be live Tuesday night after game 3 of the Rangers and Baltimore Orioles live from Arlington. As I mentioned, first pitch is 8 p.m. They are on Central Time, so 7 p.m. Central Time. And like all games can be seen on Fox Sports 1 for the American League. God's favorite host here. If you guys haven't already, hit the subscribe button if you're new. Big shout out again to Patrick Gainey. Thank you for subscribing, man. We got more content coming for you, man. And it'll be more content coming all year round. I mean, we don't just cover them during the season. We cover them in the offseason as well. But I don't see the offseason coming quite yet. Let's at least push it off one more day. As I mentioned, 3 teams have come back from 0-2 since 2012. And in 2015, the Rangers did give up a 2-0 lead. Let's see what happens. Anything can happen in the game of baseball. That's right, Patrick. Let's go O's, baby. Orioles magic. Let's do it for Brooks. Let's do it for 40 years. Let's do it for all the O's fans like myself, Patrick Gainey, musical entourage, my boy Big Raj in here. So appreciate you guys being here, man. Giving me the energy to be here. This is my therapy. This is my release of negativity and just embracing the love here on the channel. Hope all is well with everyone. Hope you guys have a great night. Hope you guys are enjoying the Sunday night football game. I know you're probably watching now. If you haven't already, I'm going to go tune into it. And then I'm going to put the kids to bed. I'm going to put myself to bed. It's been a long day. It's been a long weekend. Love everybody on the channel. We'll be live tomorrow. As I mentioned, hit the bell, vote on the poll, hit the like button, subscribe. If you want to donate, hit the Cash App down below. You see it on the ticket of Flex Zone 1, Twitter, Instagram, the Flex Zone 1, and on TikTok, the Flex Zone Podcast. You can email us, flexzone1@gmail.com, if you want to be a part of the show, ideas, anything like that. Tell us we're doing a great job. Tell us we're not doing a great job. We love it. But I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys for watching. O's fall 11-8 in game 2 of the ALDS trail, 0-2. They will return to action with the day off tomorrow. We'll hear from Brandon Hyde to see who his starter will be for game 3. And they'll be back on the mound, and on the diamond Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Post-game show immediately following that game as well. And once we hear about the pitcher, maybe I'll do some type of information to break that news as well. Signing off. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. It's the Flex Zone Podcast, the official Baltimore Orioles post-game show. Check out all the videos on our channel. Ravens post-game, Ravens preview, O's post-game for Game 1, all the shorts throughout the season on the wins. And, of course, the live streams we do for WWE and AEW. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. Enjoy the football. Enjoy your families. And thank you for joining the Flex Zone. Peace.